So what is the idea? Starting in my hometown, I want to travel across Europe, down towards Gibraltar, and then continue on the west coast of Africa, all the way to Cape Town, crossing African continent on bicycle. This is one part. The second part of the adventure is to capture and share whole experience, discovering local culture and traditions, discussing interesting facts about history, politics, and economy from local and Western perspective. After cycling through Morocco and Western Sahara, I arrived at the border crossing with Mauritania in Guerguerat.
Yeah, just finished with border with Mauritania, no question, one dog. Luckily, he didn't care about me so much. Just heading to Nouadhibou, and that's the train track. Yeah, so the iron ore train actually is leaving around 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 roughly, and yeah, I was thinking to actually make it today.
I did not plan to take the iron ore train beforehand. It just came to me as a good idea. But before, I had to go to Nouadhibou to get local SIM card and exchange American dirhams for Mauritanian ouguias. Nouadhibou is the second largest town in Mauritania. It serves as a major fishing center and has a large industrial port. After securing all the necessities, I arrived at the train station. Waiting for the train at the train tracks, a boy called Osama approached me and offered me a tea. Osama, together with his friends, take the train to deliver goods to his village Choum. Islamic Republic of Mauritania live up to its name, when after 4 hours of discussion and laughter, someone asked me if I'm a Muslim. Hearing my answer, the discussion abruptly stopped. One of the guys saved the situation by saying that I should read the Quran and see. And eventually the train arrived. train was traveling for all night. Needless to say, it was a rough night. Many tourists take the train opposite direction when it's full and less bumpy. For me, it was one-way ride, but the boys have to endure this meat grinder 8 times a week, which is admirable. It was a crazy experience. Less than 24 hours in the country and I'm sipping tea with the locals in the middle of desert. Unfortunately, I did not see or talk to Osama after, although he secured me a place with some of his friends. Video from Yeah, the bike is not looking the best after the train ride. So I'm leaving Shum, which I arrived in the morning by the train. 10 hours on the train brought me 400 kilometers inland. I was happy to cycle again and camp in scarcely populated land, moving towards Sidi Atar and the historical town Shingiti. Mauritania is almost double the size of France, and with the population of 4.5 million, it is one of the least densely populated countries. Mauritanian economy is largely dependent on mineral exports, including iron ore, copper and gold. It also has a large fishing industry and recently discovered oil deposits. I was heading to Atar and Shingiti. However, due to speeding four-wheel drives, the road was challenging.
Let's see what I can figure it out.
Despite of image of flat desert, inland is quite elevated. Eventually, I arrived to Shingiti, an old village at the edge of Sahara Desert. One of the highlights of Shingiti is Friday Mosque, which tower is topped with 5 ostrich eggs. Shingiti was founded as a medieval trading center on a trans-Saharan road to Timbuktu and Mecca. An oasis in the desert, the city was once an intellectual hub. It is also one of the most important historical sites for Islam and West Africa. Currently, it is part of UNESCO Heritage. I also visited one of the 5 libraries containing medieval manuscripts of Islamic and scientific texts.
Go.
its considerable historical significance, Shingiti is rarely visited due to its remoteness. Situated on the Adrar Plateau, Atar is the regional capital. It also served as a key stop in the Paris-Dakar race. After leaving Atar, I was heading back towards the coast and the capital, Nouakchott.
So was it a good idea to travel inland in Mauritania? Well, I don't know the coast, but the inland was nice, especially the Atar and Shingiti, Shum, and the train. It was all great, to be honest. There is a nice camping in Atar, which I very much enjoyed. Camping in Mini. Good price, nice guy, cares. It's important to care.
The last stop before traveling through 400 kilometers of hot and dry land was Tergit Oasis. Despite countless images of bathing tourists, Tergit Oasis is a national park where the locals come with their families to have a picnic. Furthermore, I'm in Islamic Republic of Mauritania and I didn't want to make anyone angry. Mauritanian dates are special. Instead of usual intense sweetness, they taste of dark chocolate and coffee. They also contain a lot of antioxidants. They were one of my favorite products from Mauritania. almost every product in Mauritania is imported, which means products available are expensive and low in quality. Therefore, I have to be creative with my diet. Although in towns it wasn't a problem.
I bought some kebab looking meat from the butcher. I don't really know what kind of meat it is, but more tastes like a beetroot.
It didn't take long before attracting attention of some local school kids. And in the tents like this, next to the road, they tend to sell camel milk. And the rubber sacks close to the tent are used for water. It's a very effective way to store the water. Also, the ground keeps water cool. However, it leaves a rubbery taste. I don't like to buy the water and rather drink whatever the locals do.
So I have bought this milk, which tastes nice, to be honest. It was frozen when I bought it. The lady gave it to me frozen. But I don't know what sort of milk it is.
Later, I was eager to get more of what I thought is a camel milk. Approaching small settlement, I received traditional desert welcoming, where a lady mixed in a bowl half and half water and milk, and added sugar. Also got a little more for a journey.
They gave me was very tasty, sweet and nice, and not so intense. Kind of different taste, but this one, well,
it turned out to be a goat milk.
Kilometers from Nouakchott, looking forward to the city. Quite exciting here in Dunes. Desert roast.
Shower after almost a week in the desert is amazing.
Oh, nice and fresh.
And I finally arrived to Nouakchott. Until 1958, Nouakchott was only a middle-sized fishing village, with a population around 15,000. Currently, almost one-third of the population of Mauritania lives in the capital. City saw major development, starting after gaining independence from France in November 1960. Mauritania still faces many challenges, like racial discrimination, gender inequality, poverty, low literacy rate, and slavery not being fully abolished, to name some of the issues. To understand the situation, it's important to mention that although it became part of West French Saharan colony in 1904, only the coastal areas were of the colonial interest. Up until the independence, the 90% of the population remained nomadic. Despite its shortcomings, I very much enjoyed my stay in Nouakchott. One of the rare events I witnessed in Nouakchott was Mauritanian wedding celebration. From the capital Nouakchott, I had less than 200 kilometers to the border crossing in Diama, which is part of Dablin National Park, located on the banks of River Senegal. After leaving Nouakchott, heading south towards Senegal, the landscape started to change, as plains of sandy desert were slowly being exchanged for dry grasslands, and further to thorny shrubs and trees of acacia.
So heading to Senegal.
As evening was approaching, in the distance I saw another cyclist with the oversized luggage. Mohamed is a living proof that the great adventures does not always require hefty budgets. An even modest traveler can set off for a great journey.
With Mohamed. Hello Mohamed, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
No, not this. Okay.
As our travel speeds varied significantly, we said goodbye with hope to meet in the future. Situated around Senegal River Delta, the national park is an important location for migratory birds. I had a chance to spot large amount of great white pelicans up close. Visiting the national park marked end of my journey through Mauritania. In the next part, I will cycle through Senegal.